Not sure what to believe about breaking into tech? Well, we're clearing things up by debunking the most common myths so you can move forward without second guessing.
And there are so many myths. The first one, the biggest one that I like to debunk is you need a computer science degree to work into tech.
So not true.
Look at me.
Myself as well.
Yeah, but the reason why I think this myth exists is because I think 20 years ago it was true. And most people still think it is true because no one has updated them on the reality of this new job market.
Yeah.
You see?
The current reality is that you can get a job coming out from a boot camp, coming out, doing online courses, doing self-study. If you can prove during an interview that you have worked on projects, that you understand the technology behind things, you can get a job.
And also, I also think it's because the tech job market has expanded. So the type of jobs that existed before had a lot to do with coding. But now there are new type of jobs that are still in the same industry, in the tech industry, but that doesn't necessarily requires coding.
I think the other reason is that things change so much and so quickly in tech that no university can continuously pump the type of professionals that can serve in these environments.
Yeah. Not only they change, but every environment is different.
Yes.
So what you studied in school could be great, but it might not be relevant to the company you are targeting, for example. So I think that's what happens. And the other reality is that more and more companies are focusing on assessing your hands-on understanding of the work as opposed to degrees in general.
Yeah. So skills and practical experience.
Over degrees.
Yeah.
So now you do not need it.
It can help, but...
It can help. It definitely can help. A degree in general, to tell you the truth, can help.
Yeah, but we have to say the opposite, right? Just having a computer science degree will not necessarily get you, let's say, an IT job in the Linux field or in the cloud field.
Yeah. And the second myth is tech careers require expertise in math and science. No, it does not. It's better if you have, because the more math and science you master, the higher your critical thinking skill is naturally. I cannot say a fact, but that there's a high correlation. So if you have a background in math and science and STEM in general, it helps being in tech, because tech in general requires a high level of critical thinking, but it's not required. It's not demanded to actually get a job.
Yeah, and I think you can develop it in the job. At least I feel that for myself. Like, I wasn't bad at math, but I definitely wasn't the best student in math. And I feel how over time, because I've worked on more coding projects, because I've had to do a lot of abstract thinking, I'm becoming more and more logical in these things. And then even math concepts are becoming easier for me to understand. But that's coming 10 years in.
But you said something here. You talked about coding. And the third myth is about that. All tech jobs involve coding. So in your case, your journey didn't start with any coding. So tell us, do you need coding to get into tech? Because now you are indeed coding, right?
Yeah. So
tell me.
You don't absolutely need it to start, and there's also a lot of tools out there that make coding way more easy because now we use some declarative languages to build things. So like the case of Terraform, you're coding, but it's not like you're coding in Python or in COBOL or in one of those.
To give people context, declarative language just means that the way you code is with things that look like sentences, English sentences. So if you want,
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you declare what you want to exist, and then the tool talks to some APIs that are
compiles it.
that listens to the request, and then they build that thing that we imagine as we imagine it.
Exactly. So instead of knowing so many syntax, you can code essentially with something that's closer to what people are used to, which is the English language.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is. So in general, getting into tech doesn't involve coding, especially if you're going into cybersecurity and system administration. But as you get into engineering, as you get in deeper into cloud, yes, you're gonna need a level of coding.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, even with system administration, when you get to the level of system engineering, when you start working with automation and levels of automation, you might have to do some coding. Lesser coding amount than a computer scientist, but you're gonna have to do some. Yeah. So what's the fourth myth?
That tech is an unstable career field. I don't know where that came from.
It's actually the opposite, because for a few reasons. First, it's in demand. Second, it's very vast. So you really can navigate your way and take your career wherever you want, however far you want it to get. It's very versatile. It's expanding literally, because more and more things, more and more resources are requiring computer. So the jobs around them are getting more and more relevant. So I think it's the opposite.
And all sorts of companies need tech, right? Like they need infrastructure so that they can fulfill their mission. So that also makes our jobs mission critical, because if the companies don't have the systems, then they usually don't have a service to offer.
Yeah, actually the tech industry is expanding. It's expanding exponentially. So if the tech industry is expanding, so is the demand for people handling that tech, managing that tech.
Yeah.
Now the jobs in tech are very different than the way they looked 10 years ago. Even when I knew what a system admin did 10 years ago, and now it's two different things.
Yes.
So the landscape is changing, but the jobs, they are still available, they are still there, but what they require, the tools they require that I think now more and more it's requiring that you know more.
Yeah. It's like the expectation is that even if you come in as an admin, you function as an engineer. And
also, not only the expectations are higher, but the tools you need to do the same kind of work you needed to do 10 years ago, they are like exponentially more.
Yeah.
So that's the reality.
And then because there's more and more tools and features out there, and things are constantly changing, the whole team is supposed to be empowered to pivot from one tool to another, from one feature to another. So that makes what we do change a lot. Like before, it was like, oh yeah, we have these 800 servers and we take care of them.
Yeah, like pets.
We make sure that they all exist, and that if something happens to it, we build another one that looks just like the other one. Now that's not the case.
Yeah. So the last myth is that you need to be young to succeed in tech. No. We have examples over example in at Yellowtail Tech. In fact, we serve people that are usually more than 30 years old. So it's not true. The marketplace doesn't care how old you are.
Yeah, I hear that myth a lot, especially with people that are very far from tech. They think that the person in tech is that young kid that goes from hacking at home. They just imagine them at a corporation. And you know what? I've never seen this kid in the real world.
Listen, I think it's a stereotype.
Yeah.
I think it's Hollywood.
It's created by movies. Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, but the typical system administrator, the typical network engineer
is 40.
It's 40. He has gray hair.
Yes. From pulling it.
Maybe he has gray hair starting
from
at 35.
Outages, yeah.
But yeah, they are not that young. So take that out of your head. If you are in your 40s, you feel you're ready, you feel you have what it takes, transition into tech is something you should completely consider. So these are the myths we hear the most. But in general, you have to be careful when you're considering getting into tech. Don't only rely on myths. Do some research, understand what it is you want to get out of the industry, and see if it's a good fit for you. But don't stay on myth. Make your own decision, and I encourage you to really consider tech because it's a booming industry.